What are the most beautiful islands of the Caribbean? Hard to choose. A real paradise on Earth, the Caribbean has always been the most coveted holiday destination. The idea of being able to lie down in the sun, sipping a colorful cocktail at the foot of a coconut palm, is a dream difficult to achieve for many. Yet the Caribbean with a Costa cruise becomes a destination that is not only reachable, but is particularly stimulating. With so many islands and archipelagos, it can be difficult to select destinations. But with Costa, you can visit numerous islands and not only get a tan, but also get to know their individual peculiarities. The Caribbean islands, in fact, each enjoy very strong characteristics that emphasize their originality. The presence of beaches and coral reefs makes many of them particularly suited to the practice of sports, as well as the rainforests that offer extraordinary trails for excursions into nature. So many choices, all different depending on the island you are discovering. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we'll tell you about the best Caribbean islands you can visit in 2023. So without further ado, let's dive in. 1. Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is one of the most famous islands of the Caribbean. Its beaches, like Punta Cana or Bahabi, have an irresistible charm. Described as real terrestrial paradises, these beaches confirm every description, from the intense blue of the water to the white sand. It is all extraordinary. But the beaches of the Dominican Republic are not just perfect for relaxing, perhaps sipping cocktails, they are also equipped for all water and diving sports. And it's not just the sea. The capital of the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo, is a famous city, one of the oldest in the Caribbean. Built in the 1500s, it still has the fortified original buildings and streets of the time, including the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Incarnation, the first to be built in colonial times. 2. Bahamas. The Bahamas have 700 islands and islets. Unspoilt nature and endless deep white or pink beaches are the setting for an ideal holiday. Password: relax. Because in the Bahamas, it really is possible to abandon the hectic lives and get in touch with nature. Grand Bahama welcomes visitors with its mangrove swamps and coral reef, and is also one of the few inhabited islands on the archipelago. It hosts Freeport and Lucaya, the two centers where the local population is concentrated, but offers ample space for parks and nature reserves. These include the Garden of the Groves, a tropical garden that is home not only to flowers and exotic plants, but also to many tropical animals and birds, amongst which there are pink flamingos, the national bird of the Bahamas. 3. Dutch Antilles. The archipelago of the Antilles is made up of predominantly mountainous islands that offer breathtaking views. Their arched patterns sees them extend from Florida to Venezuela and mark the diving line between the Sea of the Caribbean and the Atlantic Ocean. Within the archipelago, they are divided into the Greater Antilles, which include Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, and Puerto Rico, and the Lesser Antilles, which in turn are divided into the Windward Islands and the Leeward Islands, as well as the Virgin Islands. 4. Barbados. In its 430 square kilometers, Barbados encompasses a tropical microcosm. The white sand of the beaches, its coral reef, and the possibility of practicing water sports such as snorkeling are just a few of the attractions it can offer, as well as green expanses, pastures, and sugarcane plantations. Also of great interest is a visit to the capital of Barbados, Bridgetown, full of monuments and colonial buildings with a lively port. For nature lovers, the Andromeda Gardens with their tropical plants are a must, as well as the Farley Hill National Park. 5. Jamaica. Jamaica is undoubtedly one of the most famous islands in the Caribbean Sea. Montego Bay, with its beaches, coral reefs, and rainforests, as well as its colonial architecture, and Negril, a real paradise for all fans of diving, are destinations that easily fit on the wish lists of people of all ages. It's easy to imagine yourself in the sun, dancing to the notes of reggae music with a cocktail in hand, or to be enchanted by nature and the Dun River Falls. The beating heart of Jamaica is the city of Kingston, created with a perpendicular and grid geometric plan based on some projects designed for the reconstruction of London after the fire of 1666. A modern city with a historic center where there is even a museum dedicated to Bob Marley, the world-famous Jamaican reggae singer-songwriter and guitarist. 6. Puerto Rico. American or non-American, Puerto Rico is an unincorporated state of the United States, and although its inhabitants aspire to declare themselves independent, They follow the directives of the president himself. Despite this peculiarity, this island is undoubtedly one of the pearls of the Caribbean. You can visit San Juan, the capital of Puerto Rico, to understand how far the uses and customs are from the frenetic American life, perhaps by stopping at one of its picturesque beach bars or letting yourself be captivated by the old San Juan, the historic heart and soul of the island with its two ancient fortresses, El Morro and La Fortaleza. 7. Antigua. Antigua always strikes you. With its 150 kilometers of coastline, it can count on 365 beaches that allow you to relax, but also to practice all nautical sports or engage in other activities. Among these, you can choose to go swimming with stingrays with Costa, giving yourself an experience to remember and tell friends about. For surfers, the appointment is on the beach of Galley Bay, California, which in addition to having palm trees and lush vegetation, is the beach where the sea turtles nest and you may witness the birth of their young. 8. Barbuda. Barbuda is the perfect destination for those who seek peace and relaxation. As a small island, its white beaches are continuous in front of a reef that is often visible even to the naked eye. Gravenor Bay is one of the favorite beaches for snorkeling, but in the waters of Barbuda, you can often find yourself swimming amongst fish of all kinds. Of all the beaches, one that is very well known is the one from the archaeological site of Palmetto Point, leads to Cedar Tree Point, which at dawn is tinged with pink. Dawn in the Caribbean always deserves an early awakening, because it gives a light and colors never seen in other parts of the world. 9. Martinique. Martinique must be savored. Its colors and contrasts are fascinating and impress visitors from the outset. Modernity and tradition coexist on an island rich in lovely beaches, sugarcane plantations, and coca. Its capital, Fort-de-France, formerly Fort Royal, before Napoleon Bonaparte changed its name, is the perfect example. In the heart of a modern square, you can come across the beautiful Chercler Library by the architect Henri Pic. The building, which was originally built in Paris, was dismantled and rebuilt in Martinique, where other works by the same architect can be found, such as St. Louis Cathedral and the Covered Market. 10. Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe at sunset becomes magical. An island that encompasses everything you might expect from the Caribbean. Beaches with white, golden, or black sand, surrounded by unspoilt nature, await the tourists with their fairy tale views. And how to resist the temptation to enter the crystal clear and turquoise waters that touch them? Impossible. A walk to Pointe-à-Pitre will prove equally inspiring, with a succession of typical houses flanked by more modern buildings. The spacious, slightly sloping Place de la Victoire, almost reminiscent of a modern arena on which huge coconut palms peep out, and how to not get lost in the streets of the craft and spice market. In Guadeloupe, there are 1,000 colors, which harmonize at sunset, before giving way to the intense blue of the sea and night sky, which are etched forever on the heart. That was all from us today, folks. For more similar content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.